G'day folks, welcome to another trip through the Victorian High Country. Today is the 1st of January 2025 and this is my third year running that I'm exploring the Victorian High Country at the end of the year. A lot of times people like to retrace the footsteps of the great explorers, and today I'm doing exactly the same thing. I will be, over the next few days, retracing the exact same route that I myself took 3 years ago. Now, I've just left the town of Omeo and I'm heading towards Limestone Creek Track, and from there we're going to follow that all the way up to Davies High Plain track and head towards the Murray River. Now, 3 years ago we had torrential rain and the rivers were high and the track was slippery, and I had a massive adventure, but I didn't actually see a lot of the surrounding countryside. Now, this year it's been really dry, the rivers should be a lot shallower, and we're going to take many days, of at least 2 days, to do the same route and go exploring properly. So join me as we explore the Victorian High Country. Right, so this year I'm not doing the trip by myself. I'm travelling with my partner Susie. Good morning, Susie.
Good morning, Addy. Good morning, everyone.
So, you saw my film of this from 3 years ago.
Yes.
What did you think of that?
It was pretty awesome, but I was kind of glad I wasn't with you on that trip.
Yeah, it had a few tense moments, and I've proved that the FJ can float. So hopefully that won't happen this trip. I've got my fingers crossed.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
But I can't wait to see the same tracks.
Yeah, so you will get to relive all the moments that I had without the scary bits, hopefully.
I hope it,
along the way.
without the scary bits,
Yes. So rather than having to use a map to find my way, this year I'm just following the dotted line on my phone. I actually used my phone, my maps on my phone, to record the trip last time around, so I'm just following the exact same route. So, let's go. We've just left the town of Omeo and we're heading through the countryside. It is beautiful, yellowish spinifex, rolling hills, really lovely. A lot of cattle around. And this is bringing back a lot of memories for me. Well, good morning everyone. It is a beautiful sunny day, bright blue skies, a couple of little clouds here and there, more clouds over there. I'm heading in that direction. Blue skies in that direction. We had a lot of rain last night, so I got a room at the local pub. There was no accommodation anywhere else to be found. Even the local campground was completely flooded. Did you see that sign back there?
Yes, I did.
It says weather conditions may affect the tracks. They can get ice, rain, snow, all sorts of things. And if I recall correctly, the last time that I went down this way 3 years ago, it was a beautiful sunny day, just like today. And I was rejoicing in the fact that it's a lovely day and blessing the time, counting my blessings. And then all hell broke loose. But hopefully that won't happen today. Hopefully.
Nice. Did you check the weather conditions?
God, no.
Thanks.
We just go for it. That's how we roll.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Bring on adventure.
Okay, bring it on.
So now it's still good weather. Although I see a little cloud over there. Hopefully that stays as a small cloud. I'm paranoid because
Oh my gosh.
last time, like I was saying, it started off as blue skies and then it was torrential downfall. But my hopes are high that we have a good trip this time round. So the start of the track is about 10 minutes down the road. We've just pulled up and we're having some breakfast. Now, I actually promised to cook Susie breakfast, but she beat me to it. What are you making there, Susie?
Vegemite and cheese sandwiches.
Oh, look at that. This is Bega cheese and Vegemite spread. Now, we actually stopped off in the town of Bega the other day, and I think you can only get this in the factory itself. I haven't tasted it yet. I hope it's going to be okay. How bad could it be?
I have. I like it very much.
Yeah? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh! That is absolutely beautiful. Oh yeah. I'm a happy little Vegemite now. Alright, so I guess some things never change. I made the same mistake I made 3 years ago. I missed the turn off to Limestone Creek Track. Limestone Road. That's it.
Okay, so we need to take a photo of this sign because that's the same sign.
This is it. Right, Limestone. So it's called Limestone Road, but this becomes Limestone Creek Track. Warning, extreme weather conditions may affect sections of this road. The road can be subject to snow, ice and heavy rain. Don't I know it? Chains should be carried, use road at own risk. Susie, are you willing to accept the risk?
I don't know about that.
Alright, time to deflate the tyres. Now, I'm going to try something new. These are some automatic tyre deflators. They're made by iCheck TPMS and they're preset to 25 psi. Wait for this car to go. These are preset to 25 psi and you can change the tyre pressure on them by rotating that dial, and you can change it in very, very fine increments. So let's go test them out. So I think it'll probably take about a minute or so to deflate each tyre from 41 psi down to 25 psi. Put the next one on. There's a lot of flies out today. There's a lot of flies out today. There we go. So by my reckoning, it's about a minute and a half or so to do each tyre. So by the time you put the first one on and you walk around the car, by the time the last one's on, the first one's done. So it's a really quick way to deflate your tyres. Now, together with the iCheck fast deflators, I'm also using the iCheck tyre pressure monitors. Now, I've done a video on their product previously, and the good thing about the tyre pressure monitors is they are intelligent tyre pressure monitors, so they actually detect the tyre pressure. So when you take the sensor off the tyre, then you can deflate your tyres. When you put it back, it automatically picks up from the new pressure and then alerts you if the tyre pressure changes from that point onwards. So you don't have to recalibrate your tyre pressure monitor inside the vehicle. So they're very, very handy. If you are interested in iCheck products, go to forexadventures.com.au, go to shop, and you can get a 10% discount. Okay, so the tyres are now down to 25 psi, and this is the start of Limestone Creek Track. I've got some mixed feelings about this track, mixed memories about this track, because I encountered some very interesting people on this track last time round. G'day, how are you going? How's the track up ahead?
Oh, we've just turned around, we're just trying to get back up again.
Okay.
How much rain did you encounter for things to get so slippery wet?
Last time?
Fine day, yeah, it was kind of.
So it had actually started raining several days beforehand, and if you look at the video that I made a couple of days beforehand, we were sliding down slopes that had turned to clay. So there was quite a lot of rain, and the rain got worse, and the last night before I came on this track was just torrential rain. And then I parted way with my mates, and I started coming down on this track. And that morning the sun actually came out, it was blue sky, and I thought, oh good, and weather's going to be okay. But there's a lot of rain, and it doesn't have to be falling here, it could be falling somewhere else that runs down through the creeks, and the creeks get high. So yes, the tracks here were slippery, but the creeks were really, really full of water. And I did encounter somewhere along this track, pretty soon there's going to be a very steep downhill part, and I remember there were two vehicles coming up, and I stopped and I asked them, how the water level's going further down, is it okay to cross? And the guy said, oh, I wouldn't do it. And I said, no worries, thank you, and I kept on going. So yeah.
Artie's very adventurous.
Well, the thing is, in my mind, I wanted to go home, and this was the way home, and I'd already spent several hours getting to this point, and I thought I want to push on. And when I get to the river, if it looks impassable, I'll turn around. And in the end, I did get through.
Yeah, you did.
Just.
Only just.
Only just. But I live to tell the tale. So anyway, so somewhere here, there will be a very, very steep downhill part.
So those who are new forward driving and trying to get distracted, what would you suggest?
I would definitely suggest checking the weather conditions, not just on the day, but be aware of what weather has occurred over the previous week. Because if it's been really, really heavy rains, the rivers could be impassable. So just be mindful of the weather conditions. For example, tonight it might get extremely cold. It's the middle of summer, and today is the 1st of January, so middle of summer here. But it could get down to only a few degrees tonight. So we've got a whole lot of firewood on the back. We are prepared. We've got a chainsaw this time around, which I didn't have last time. I've got a working winch. And I have a partner for moral support. So we are slowly making our way up. I don't know what the mountain's called actually, but this is the Great Dividing Range that we're going over, and we are heading towards the Murray River. So we're slowly making our way north. We've just arrived at our first camping spot, Native Dog Flat camping area, and it looks really nice. I can see a long drop, some picnic tables, some nice flat grassy spots and campfires. Looks beautiful. Let's push on and try and get some river crossings under our tyres before we find our camping spot for tonight.
I wonder, should we ask some of the campers what the track's like?
Oh, let's leave it to chance. Let's leave it to fate. Well, I like adventure. I don't want to know it beforehand. I like to look. I know that it's been dry weather.
Yes, we do know.
It hasn't rained. We've been out in the high country for 6 days now, and we hadn't had a drop of rain. It hasn't rained for weeks prior to that, so I think there's a very good chance that everything will be in really good condition the whole way.
We shall find out.
Well, I remember this intersection very well. Behind me is a signpost to Misery Trail that leads off in that direction up there, and in front of me is the Alpine National Park, and that's where we're heading next. So yet again, I've made another mistake, the same mistake I made 3 years ago. I actually missed the Limestone Creek Track turn-off at another point down the track. So the road actually splits into two, and one road right next to me goes up and the road goes down, and this is Limestone Creek Track now. So now we are on the correct track, and it's going to get rather steep and rocky. So let's put it into low range, and low range first, and away we go. Susie's covering her eyes. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So we've got some ruts coming up here, and right now I'm going to put my wheels in the ruts, because sometimes it pays to follow what other people do, and at other times you want to not follow what they are doing. So you have to assess each obstacle as you come to it. Here we go. That wasn't too bad. negotiate this very, very carefully. The ruts are going diagonally, very, very deep ruts. There we go. That might even turn on crawl control. So up ahead is our very first river crossing. Very, very different to last time. Your tyres are barely going to get wet this time around. There we go.
So how big was it last time?
It was a metre.
Wow.
A metre deep, and I remember when I came through, there was steam rising from the bonnet and the water was flowing fast. Okay, I've just arrived at a river crossing. I have no idea how deep it is, but I'm guessing it's probably up to my tyre, the top of my tyre at least. It's got a very strong current. So I'm going to turn on my diff locks just in case. Traction control as well. Let's give it a shot. Oh my god! Very, very different now. We've got some people travelling on horseback. That's a really cool thing to do. Hello, how are you going? Oh, I can't wait for lunch. That looks fantastic.
Yes, very hungry.
So, Susie, do you want to drive after lunch?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My turn. My turn to scare the hell out of Artie. Hey.
Just go slow.
No. No such thing. Adventure.
Oh, yeah. Just go slow. Okay, we can have adventure, just go slow. That's what I'm saying. It's been a really fun drive so far. I was really, really enjoyed the road down here. And I think last time around, that's right, last time around I had some chips for lunch. I was sitting in the car at a river crossing having chips for lunch. And this is going to be far better.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anyway,
Okay,
time for lunch.
I think lunch is ready.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Look at this place. It's all these twisted tree stumps everywhere. And believe me, when it gets foggy, it gets really creepy. Well, 3 years ago, I stopped off at about this point. This is Davies High Plain track, and there was a huge amount of fog. I came over a crest and I hit a ditch and I heard an almighty bang, and I bent my bash plate quite considerably. Luckily no other damage to the car, but the amount of fog in this area was incredible. It was the middle of summer, about the same time as today. It's now about 2:30 p.m. And these trees that are behind me and are all around me in the fog, it gives off a really, really eerie, creepy vibe, as if I was standing in some kind of nightmare. And this is what I said at the time. Well, the rain has finally set in for good. The higher I get, the colder it is, and the more rugged the landscape becomes. Just watching the burnt out trees looming up out of the mist has got me feeling rather uneasy. So I'm on Davies Plain track, heading towards, I don't even know, I'm heading towards the next campground. This landscape is what nightmares are made of. Let's look at these twisted trees. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Really extremely rugged landscape. It's been raining most of the day. We get to these blackened, twisted stumps of trees, and it is very, very easy to get lost. The mist in amongst these blackened tree stumps, it really gives it an eerie feeling. And talking about eerie feelings, those two guys I met back there, one of them kind of gave me the creeps. See, the mind does strange things when you're travelling through a landscape like this. You're by yourself, you're in the middle of nowhere, extremely remote area. So they're probably very, very nice people, but there's the old guy. He's just old and crusty, and he's been living out here for years and years, and he's just old. He doesn't seem too bad. But the young guy that's with him, the young guy just gives me this axe murderer vibe. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but he never once smiled, he never once said a friendly hello or anything like that. He just stared at me with this serious, deep, piercing stare, and I got the creeps massively. It says road closed. A 2.3 kilometre section of Davies Plain track has been significantly damaged by storms and floods. This section will remain closed to all motor vehicles until assessment and repairs allow for reopening. Tracks are temporarily closed to protect surfaces' environmental and cultural heritage values, water quality, as well as other driver safety. So you are here. Let's have a closer look at it.
Those assholes. Other cars that we passed didn't tell us that the road was closed.
No.
What pieces of shit?
But there could have been another sign that was ripped off, because it looks like there was maybe something that was taped there. So this is the track that's in front of the bomb now. A couple of very large rocks. And the sign back there said sections. There's one section of the track that is closed. Alright, I just had to walk all the way down to the bottom of the track, come back up. I'm quite puffed out as a result. Now, the track condition is quite cut up. I'll wait until you're done with that.
That's right. Yes, that's why it's closed.
So the track is quite cut up. It's drivable because You can straddle the deep right all the way down the centre. You can get down there, but
you can fall in.
It's only a small section that is closed. This section here.
We don't know that.
No, the sign says. It's got the track, and it's got a little bit of red paint on the track to indicate which section is closed. So this is the extra difficult part. So what we need to now work out is how we get out of here. Parks Victoria, you could have put that sign at the start of the track, not
why
95% of the way down the track. Because now we have to go back a hell of a long way. Yeah. There's a very, very long way to go back to get to... That's the border. That's not even a track. Oh wow. I can't turn around here because we're on a downward bit. I've got no reversing camera, so I'm just going to try and use my mirrors as best I can. Alright, so the plan of attack is we have to go back, retrace our steps about 50 kilometres, and then we turn onto a smaller track which will take us across to a sealed road. I think it's a sealed road, and then we go back towards, I think, Omeo, in that general direction.
Wow.
But that's quicker than staying on this track the entire way. It basically bypasses a huge section of Limestone Creek Track and comes out closer to Omeo. So that's the quickest way to get out of here. There's no other way out. So fun. Let the good times roll.
Yeah, I can't understand.
What the hell is that? Get out. Thank you.
I can't understand. You actually pass people who have obviously had to turn around and go back, and they didn't say a single thing.
True.
How is that four-wheel drive buttingness looking after you, looking out for your fellow men?
Yeah.
Out on the tracks.
I mean, this track really only goes to one location. Once you're on Davies Plain High Creek Track, whatever it's called, it only goes to one place, Tom Grogan. And the guy, we met that last vehicle coming back on this track, he really could have said, hey, you can't get through. That's
three cars. We passed
three cars.
Yes.
Car is filthy. Oh, that bag was green. Everything is just the one colour. What a beautiful camping spot this is. So I'm just going to set up camp, and I think I've got this car absolutely perfect. The setup is so quick. Let me show you. Open the tailgate. Undo the latch, undo the next latch. Tent goes up. Get the poles in. Tent is set up. Let's do the awning. Button that up, open the kitchen. We're ready to cook dinner. Frying pan, we'll get some drinks in a second. Table. It is really, really quick. Within no time at all, we've got camp set up. One chair. Oops, there we go. Second chair. Table. Get some drinks out of the fridge. Here's one drink for the moment. Oh. Cheerio, guys. Oh! Susie wants to have a shower. Come with me. Shower queue. Before I open this, might be a bit of a mess. We've been out touring the whole day, but here's our shower. Turn it on, open the tap.
Awesome!
Beautiful hot shower, and the way we do it is we actually leave that door open. We wind the window down, close that door, and we can reach in and grab that. You can open up the cupboards, grab some clothes, it's all reachable, and then we've got our shower cubicle which we open up. And from within there you can get to your clothes. We've also got a pop-up toilet, which is a thunderbox. Come on, there we go. Come on. There we go. So, bed is made, kitchen's ready to cook dinner. We've got cold drink out on the table. We've got shower. We can do a toilet as well. Like I said, we've got a pop-up toilet which we just pull out, open it up. Actually, I'll show you. Alright, so this is our toilet. It is a thunderbox. Jim's thunderbox. It is very easy to set up. There we go. We put a bag in it, or we can just dig a hole and put the toilet over the top. It is robust, it's going to last longer than the car, I think. One thing that people ask me is, how do I get in the tent? Because they haven't actually seen me put the ladder up, and they think that I have to climb up the back. But no, I don't. I have a ladder right here, and the ladder goes on the side of the car. Right. There we go, there's our ladder, and one last thing left. Right, I'm going to set up Starlink. Come with me, let's go this way. I've got a lot more to practice. Anyway, Starlink. I have 3 components to Starlink. Now this bag, this is not part of the Starlink kit, but this bag is from BCF. I think it's a TV bag, and it perfectly fits the dish. So I'm very, very happy about that find. I think Susie found that, and it was a perfect find because it just works so great. So Starlink, we find that Starlink is absolutely essential. You never know when you might need access to the internet, and it comes in very, very handy all the time. And the way we set this up is it just plugs into the back of the dish. There we go. Oops, that pops on there. This goes onto the dish. Made myself a bracket on the front of the car. The dish faces south, so the sun is sitting there, so it's west, so south will be in that direction. And you get the other length of the cable, plug it in the back, turn it on, and away we go. Oh, where is it? There we go, in, on. That's our camping setup, as easy as that. So that probably took 5 minutes and we're set up, and it's just as quick to pack up. And now we can relax. Susie, here's your hat, I will get you a drink, and we can go for a walk in the river. Wow, this water looks good. Let's see if I can get in. Getting in is one thing, I might not be able to get out. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. It's so beautiful, look at that. This is a mountain creek, mountain stream. It is icy cold, coming from God knows where, inside the mountain or something. Is freezing cold. We've had nice warm days. Yeah, the water's icy cold, but it's so picturesque, meandering its way down in that direction. Beautiful. Crystal clear, really lovely. I hope there's no leeches.
What's that?
Oh, this is lovely. Why get out? This is...
Would you like your drink, Hattie?
Oh yes. Oh. Beautiful! This is actually not even on the map, so I can't tell you what it's called. It's on Buckwong Road. That's all I can tell you. We've got Starlink going. We're going to have a few drinks, relax, and use up pretty much all of our firewood with a nice big campfire tonight. Good morning everyone. Well, last night was a very interesting night. We've got a beautiful picturesque camp spot here, got the river going next to the campfire and next to our camping spot. It was absolutely lovely, apart from the flies. Now while the sun was out there was a huge amount of normal flies, but when the sun went down, out came the bugs and the tiny little flies that crawl around on everything. And we ended up having to sit in the car and eat dinner there. It was really quite an incredible experience. The amount of flies, no matter how much smoke the campfire created, there was just no escape from them. So this morning we've woken up, we've packed the car up. We're going to do breakfast further down the track. We're going to hopefully find a nice spot and make breakfast there. Today we're going to change our plans because this video started off with me trying to retrace my steps that I did 3 years ago following Davies High Plain road all the way across to the Murray River. Now, that was impassable yesterday. The road was closed and we didn't want to go through. And even if we could have gotten down that last steep hill and across the boggy marsh part, I don't want to be doing the wrong thing on camera. So if anyone complains, oh, you could have done it, mate. Yes, I know I could have done it, but I'm not going to do the wrong thing on camera. So we have decided to change our plans. It is 8:34 a.m. and we have killed about 1,334,000 bugs in the car. We opened the door for 2 seconds and all these tiny little microscopic fly type bugs just inundate the car, and they're everywhere. They're crawling over every crevice and every surface, and they're crawling the holes and going in your ears, and yeah.
Yes.
And if you don't like bugs, it's not pleasant.
So where are we off to now, Adi?
We are okay. So we're on Buckwong Track, and we've got a small section of Buckwong Track to do to get to Hope Road. So you can see that there. So we're going to go across that difficult section across to Hope Road, and we're going to then take that all the way back down to Omeo, and we'll probably need to refuel there, and then head up Benambra Road, and that will take us all the way back up to civilization somewhere, and then we'll find the Murray River and go down along the New South Wales Victoria border and find some good campsites.
Awesome.
So that's the plan for today.
Any idea where we'd be stopping for breakfast?
No idea.
Okay.
No idea.
I would like to stop in Omeo for coffee.
We can definitely do that.
They got good coffee at the bakery right
Oh
there.
yeah.
On the left-hand side, depending on which side you're coming into town.
Okay, so there's a handy tip. If you're coming through Omeo, there's a really good bakery. Really good coffee.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that's the plan for this morning. Let's make some tracks.
I'll go around that way. Everyone's going to be going that way. Wow.
Here we go.
Why sit in there and just chew it out like that?
I know, because people are idiots. So it's only been 1 minute since we've left our campsite, and already I can see the damage done by sheer idiots. Look at this. Now, to cut up a track that much when you can see that it's already damaged and people still drive into that and still cut up the track simply for a challenge, that's just sheer lunacy. You're destroying the countryside. So that's just terrible to see that sort of thing when there's a chicken track around that for good reason, but that is just not acceptable. I don't understand some people. Why continue to cut up a track? Because that is a result of continuous vehicles going through there and again for the challenge. I think they're trying to create their own little version of Gunshot. Oh, there's a nice little bridge. Very picturesque.
People on horseback came through here.
Well, this is Buckwong Hut, and this is only about a minute after the place we camped last night, and behind me you can see the actual hut itself. Let's go have a look. Is it locked up?
Yes.
That's unlike huts around here. Maybe we can get in the other side. Someone's conveniently placed a stone here to stand on.
Look in.
To look in the window. Let's see. Oh, there's a bed, some tables, some chairs, a collapsible bed, and some bits of wood. I don't know if you could see through there, but yeah, let's see what's on the other side. That's unusual because these huts are for the benefit of travellers, and quite typically these huts would have enough firewood and a couple of bare essentials, some old pots and pans, and people might leave tins of baked beans and those sorts of things at the huts, and maybe some drinks. And it's for the benefit of people who are hiking and they get caught in storms. They can seek shelter in huts, which is a really great idea. And a lot of these huts have been here for 100 years or more. But this one is all padlocked up, which is really unusual. It's the first one I've seen that's actually locked up. It's got a fishing rod in there, so I'm guessing somebody comes here frequently and stays here. But this is Buckwong Hut. I've decided that I really need a camera car. I really need somebody to drive along, maybe in a little Suzuki Jimny or something, for someone who can zip along and take footage of us driving along. So this is a call out to anyone who is a budding film student. If you want to come along on one of my adventures, contact me.
But they need a four-wheel drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a little Suzuki Jimny.
Oh no!
Yeah, a little Suzuki Jimny. Or any four-wheel drive. I don't care what four-wheel drive you have. If you are interested in helping me make these films, because it's very difficult for me to film and drive at the same time, and there's so much that I would have liked to have captured that we're missing out on. So if you're a budding camera operator, I'll happily do the editing, but if you want to come along and film this trip, let me know. I'll be happy to hear from you. Typical. We've just gotten to the end of Buckwong Track, and this joins on to Davies High Plain Track. And there's a sign here that says road closed, access prohibited, the dates that is closed, the section that is closed. This is the right place to put a sign. The other end of Davies High Plain Track, there was no sign. I reckon somebody has ripped that sign down because they are a bastard. Assholes! End of rant. You've got to love the high country. We've found a mountain stream. This is called Japan Creek. And look at that, it is absolutely amazing. We're now going for a swim. It is bloody cold, but it is absolutely beautiful. Let's look at this around us. Simply stunning. And this is the reason I love the high country. Just amazing stuff. It is such an amazing experience to find a beautiful mountain stream. There's no one around. It is crystal clear water, very, very cold, but this is the sense of freedom that you have in the Victorian high country, where you just drive around on dirt tracks. You're free to camp wherever you want, and when you find a beautiful spot like this, well, you just stay here for a couple of days. It is sensational, and I'm going to be coming back again and again because this is what it's all about in the VIC High Country. Some people like the challenge of the four-wheel driving tracks, and that's certainly a big draw card. But for me, what draws me back every year is the freedom, and also exploring and coming across amazing places like this that you otherwise wouldn't find on any map, you wouldn't find anywhere. It is absolutely amazing. So this is a very, very special camping spot that I saved for last. This is right on the banks of the Murray River, which you can see behind me. It's a wildlife sanctuary and it is peaceful and quiet. And this is the second time we've been here and I couldn't wait to get back here. It's just such a lovely way to finish off a trip. So that brings our trip to an end. We didn't end up where we planned to end up, but adventure happens. Just go with whatever happens and make the best of it, and that's what we did. And we saw some amazing things along the way. Beautiful.
Awesome things along the way.
Beautiful scenery.
I'm glad we ended up here in our favourite spot.
Yeah, this is one of our favourite spots. It's just such a peaceful, quiet place to go camping. We've got beautiful lush green grass right next to the Murray River. It's peaceful and quiet. We've got a willow tree right behind me, birds singing in the trees. At night time, fingers crossed, we'll hear owls again.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be so cool?
Last time we were here, we heard owls, but not just one or two owls. We were surrounded by owls in all the trees, and that was just so amazing. So hopefully we can spot some owls tonight and record their sounds. And that is basically the end of another trip.
Yeah, until the next one.
So
Can't wait.
until the next trip and until the next video, see you later guys.